My name's Edric and I'm a PhD student at UWA doing research in quantum computing. Where it really begins for me is as a Year 12 graduate. Like, my main interest was to get as far away from a sort of formal education, but I still wanted to learn and I still wanted to study. What I did is I ran headlong into a film and music production course and then spent the next few years just making art, which, as a lot of people know, unfortunately, is a hard way to earn a living. So somewhere in that mess of a budding career, I wound up at a job washing glassware at a small laboratory. I found that to be quite interesting, and I was fortunate enough that this was an environment where they picked up on that interest, and over time they taught me how to do the analysis. I read manuals on how to perform maintenance, and in the end, over a period of about 4 or 5 years, I eventually achieved an advanced diploma of laboratory techniques. Over that time, I got to speak with a lot of really interesting people from the sciences. So I went from working as a lab technician to starting a bachelor in chemistry and physics at UWA. Thanks to those positive experiences I had working in that laboratory and in that space, I never really wavered in the idea that I was going to finish those courses and I was going to graduate, as a physicist, or graduate with a bachelor's of science. So I sort of started looking around the university for a project that might let me pursue something in that vein. And what that ultimately led me towards was joining a quantum computing group, where, as my master's project, I developed software for the simulation of like a particular kind of quantum system. Over that time, I went from having a general interest to actually writing these programs to perform these massively parallel simulations of these quantum systems on Pawsey's computers. After that master's, I found that I had developed this joint kind of skill set, which led me to apply for the Pawsey internship to continue learning about quantum computing, which, look, if you like solving puzzles and you like learning about new ideas, is pretty much just a playground for that sort of practical, creative thinking. That's really how I got to where I am now, doing this PhD in quantum computing. I think that's my story.